Okay, let me think now. Is this part 8 or part 9? It's probably part 9. About a South African nurse or any other nurse for that matter trying to immigrate to the Netherlands through the BIG process. We were talking about the BI test. I have explained the clinical reasoning section, practical section, and theory section. I hope they were helpful. So now we're getting to the part where, oh yes, if you do the exams and your overall performance is fine, but it's not quite like you get maybe one thing wrong, like you get 59% instead of 60% for the test. Or you maybe did one tiny mistake in the practical, or your clinical reasoning was good, but you missed the main sort of diagnosis, but you came up with a good other alternative diagnosis, that sort of thing. If your overall performance was good, but you might need a little bit more insight in the Netherlands methods of nursing, they do provide schooling. They will let you know via a letter. I had mine now, but yeah, 2 to 3 weeks after you've written your exam, you will get a letter with your results. You won't see exactly your scores, but they will say whether you've passed or partially passed and need 3 months of schooling, training, which you can attend, and then you've passed. You don't have to do the exam again, you just have to attend that schooling. In my case, I passed the first time and I was so relieved. Oh, I was jumping up and down, literally right here, with my husband when I found that letter and was reading the results. Then in the letter, it also describes like not just congratulations you've passed, but now we need some documents from you, or we need further information from you. And this is where SANK will come in again. So they will ask you for, okay, for me, I think it was for me, and they will ask you for an updated version of your CV again, because for me, it's been like 2 years since I updated my previous one for them. Then they asked me for my certificate of current professional status from SANK. So you have to apply online if you're in the Netherlands and you need something from SANK. You go to the website, you fill in the downloadable form. In my case, it was for certificate of current professional status, and then you pay. I think I can't remember how much I had to pay, but they have to mail this form. They have to mail this form back to you, which is quite tedious, but it's necessary because it's an original. Then you need to mail this form straight to The Hague, straight to the BIG office. You can ask SANK to post it directly to The Hague instead of to your residential address through DHL Express. Otherwise, you can still use PostNL as local post company, similar to PostNet, but it is very reliable. The post here is amazing. Post offices are still working really well, and pickup points as well. Then the other thing they will need from you, BIG will need from you, is a police clearance certificate. This was only asked after the BI test. Now, the frustrating thing is that both of these I did before I came to the Netherlands at all, but BIG did not ask for these two documents until after the test. And they said they wanted it to be 3 months valid. So I had to repeat this step again. Do not make the same mistake I did. Don't do these two things until much later when BIG asks for it. Because this, with the police clearance certificate, I had to fill in the application form again, do my fingerprints again. At the embassy, you have to do this at the Hague embassy. You can't just go to any other. Well, maybe you can, but I didn't want to take the risk in case they didn't have the valid form. To do your fingerprints in any other local police station. I went straight to the embassy. Luckily, they are fully familiar with all those procedures. You just book an appointment and go and tell them what you want. And then these have to be mailed back to the police station somewhere in Pretoria. The criminal center in Pretoria. Then you have to pay a fee, get this police clearance certificate, and then send that to The Hague. So these are my old ones, but I do have a company that can help you speed this process up, because it does take about 8 weeks for the SANC certificate of current professional status to come through, as well as the police clearance certificate. Certificate Assist SA. They help. Certificate Assist SA. They helped my procedure within 2 weeks instead of 8 weeks. Of course, it does pay extra, but if you need something that's time sensitive, then you must be willing to pay. It's a very expensive process, this whole thing. Oh, as well as a copy of your passport to go with the application process. Yeah. Oh, did I mention that all those documents that you send to BIG, your certificates and your academic transcripts, those sort of things, they not only have to be original, but some of them have to be notarized. Notarized is not exactly certified. It is a stamp of certification from a Dutch lawyer. Now, I'm going to show you an example of my passports. Let me just fold this. This is basically almost what a notarized stamp looks like. But this is a different law firm. So it might not be the same as the law firm in your area. This one is in a small town that I live nearby. So notarizing is not the same as certifying. Okay. So if the big company needs something notarized, it means you have to take the documents that need notarizing to a lawyer, and you will have to pay per document. Yeah. They might be able to make an exception and do a discount. I don't know. I don't know. That was my experience, but I don't know what would happen in your experience. It is quite lengthy. So yeah, after the BI test, make sure your documents are still up to date. Police clearance certificate and certificate of current professional status. Once those are received, the final step of your BIG process, and that is to work for 3 months under supervision. This is a verklaring werken onder supervisie. All right. This you need to fill in for the next 3 months in your workplace as a nurse, not as a verzorgende IG. That's why I resigned. I need to work through this document with a BIG licensed nurse to fill it in, and for that person to say, okay, yes, she can work in the Netherlands environment. And once this form has been sent to Den Haag, you're done. You get your BIG number. Well, you already actually get your BIG number after the BI test, but it's a conditional BIG number, like your SANC number. But if you do this 3 months under supervision work, then it becomes an unconditional BIG number, and you are properly licensed. Okay. I'm gonna maybe post another video for any other details that I might have missed. But yeah, I will also let you know how my process is going if you are curious. I'm doing interviews and I'm trying to find a job that I am happy for. It doesn't have to be a hospital. It can be old age homes or anywhere else, because the nice thing about this country is your specialization is taken into consideration, but everyone is paid quite well according to the law. Okay, thanks.